contested during the UPA regime when he was given charge of various ministries, including the Ministry of Science and Technology and the Ministry of Human Resource Development. He was also a member of the Parliament in Delhi from 2004 to 2014.
Having been honoured with the Padma Bhushan by the Government of India, the prestigious Stephen P. Duggan Award for Mutual Understanding by the New York-based Institute of International Education, and having been inducted into the Honorary Senate of Foundation Linda Nobel Laureate meetings for his contribution in the field of science and technology, Mr. Sybil is most certainly a model of excellence for us all. We welcome you, sir, to Leadon 2016. May I request you now to address the audience, sir? May I now invite you to address the audience, sir?
Thank you very much. It's truly a delight to be here. I always believe that when I'm with the young, I learn from them rather than am able to inform them about things, because I think the young minds of this country are very, what should I say, are those who think for themselves, who are willing to meet challenges, who are hoping to cross barriers and achieve something in life. Anyway, I'm delighted that I'm here in the midst of people who are head schoolboys and girls and leaders in their own right. So I'm talking about excellence,
yes, sir,
ethics and engagement. Right? That's the topic I believe that we're talking about. So let me just, before I start what excellence means, let me tell you, give you two interesting anecdotes. So once somebody was in a helicopter, and there were other also people along with him, and one of the leaders within the group told the young man to go and jump. So, of course, he had a parachute. So he jumped. And he landed very safely. At a later point in time, he was told that I made you jump because I wanted you to realize what life is all about. If the parachute hadn't opened, you would have been in a problem. And you landed safely because the parachute opened. Your parachute is like your mind. If you keep it open, you land safely, no matter what journey you take on. But if you close your mind, you will be in great difficulty. So the important thing in life is, as you move forward, is like the parachute, to keep your mind completely open. You don't have to be persuaded by anybody. You must engage with people. And then decide for yourself what you want to do and what you don't want to do. The second little anecdote is that it's not really an anecdote. If you want to climb a ladder, how do you climb it? You have to hold on to something to climb a ladder. Right? Otherwise you can't climb it. That's what the journey of life is. You can't do it on your own. You have to hold on to something. And the higher you climb, the more support you need. And remember, when you get on top of the ladder, don't forget that somebody helped you climb it. Because when you hold on to the ladder, that's somebody helping you climb that ladder. So when you are on top of the ladder, don't ever forget that there was somebody who was helping you. So help all those who are also trying to climb the ladder. These are two very important lessons in life if you want to reach anywhere in life. The third thing I want to tell you is that the greatest men of this world have not necessarily been great students. Right? Whether it's Albert Einstein or Shelley, the great poet, or Winston Churchill, who was last in class, and many others. Mandel, for example, he dropped out of school. Isaac Newton, he was no good in class. I can give you the names of many others. So don't worry about your grades. Of course, you have to get to college. So you better do well, because that's the only way to get to college. But remember, the fact that you have got good grades really means very little, because it's a stepping stone to enter life. But you will only achieve in your journey ahead in life if you follow certain precepts. Otherwise, those grades will not matter. I don't remember who said it, but someone said that, I think it was Einstein, who said that education begins after you have forgotten everything that you have learnt in school. Because the real education in life is how ultimately to deal with people, to deal with yourself, your ambitions, your sights as far as you are concerned in your future journey in life, how you interact with your family, how you interact with your friends, how you are willing to absorb knowledge, how you are willing to tell yourself you know nothing. And that's one of the stories that Plato talks about Socrates. And he says that Socrates once went to Delphi and asked, why is it that people think that I know everything? Is there anybody else who's better than me? The oracle of Delphi said, no. There is nobody else who knows more than you. And Socrates actually talked about this in his trial. And he said, in fact, I realized that I know nothing. But in order to test myself whether I'm right or I'm wrong, I went to a successful politician. And I spoke to him, with a very, very enlightened, very, very knowledgeable fellow. He said, in the course of my conversation, I realized that he thinks he knows when he knows nothing. And I know that I know nothing. That's the difference between an enlightened man who will achieve the levels of excellence if he starts his journey in life by telling himself that I know nothing, I have yet to learn. And every step of your life, you must continue to learn. I can tell you about my own profession as a lawyer. There is not a single day that passes that I don't learn anything. And most of the time, I learn it from people who think I know that they don't know. And actually, I learn from them. So if you keep your mind open like a parachute, and you tell yourself that I have to achieve a certain goal, and I must work hard to do that, and employ no foul means to reach wherever I wish to reach, I have no doubt that each one of you will be able to actually move through life and achieve the levels of excellence you want to achieve. And of course, education is a great facilitator. And I'll give you a little story about a Scottish farmer. A Scottish farmer once was in his house. His name was Fleming. And he heard a cry for help outside the house. And when he looked out, he found that a boy was drowning in a bog, in quicksand. So he immediately went there and helped him out. That boy happened to be the son of a very rich Scots person. This is a true story. So when that Scots person came to know that Mr. Fleming had helped him so well and helped save the life of his son, he went on a chariot to his house and cut out a check and said, "Sir, fill up whatever you want to save the life of my son." And the Scottish farmer said, No, I will not take any money from you, because I would do this for anybody. So I'm not going to take any money from you. So while he was saying this, his own son came and stood beside him. So the this rich Scotsman said to him, "Is that your son?" He said, "Yes." "Will you allow me to educate him?" And the Scottish farmer was delighted. And he said, "Yes." That young person ultimately landed up in St. Mary's Hospital, which is a teaching institution, and became Alexander Fleming. So now you know what education can do for you. But a truly educated person should have no ego, should not be arrogant, should be willing to learn on a daily basis, should be humble about his own knowledge, and should believe that he knows nothing and that he has a lot to learn from everybody. Remember, each one of you sitting here is unique. Not just you. Each student in every school in India, girl or boy, are unique. Why do I say that? Unique because each one of them has a quality that the other person does not have. Somebody may be good at expressing himself or herself. Somebody may be good at, may have a wonderful memory. Somebody may excel in sports. Somebody may be great at drawing. Somebody may be a great communicator. Somebody may be exceptionally brave. So each human being has a unique quality. And what you have to realize within yourself, and that's the only way you will achieve levels of excellence, is when you recognize that quality in yourself. In other words, remember this, you'll not be good at everything. Right? Somebody can make a speech. Somebody can think but cannot make a speech. Somebody is a good batsman, but is a terrible bowler. Right? Somebody is good at opening for the team, and somebody is a pinch hitter. Right? So every person has some quality about him, which is unique to him. What you have to realize is what that quality within you is. And the only way to realize it is by asking yourself, what it is that gives me great pleasure? What is it that I enjoy doing? What is it that when I get up in the morning, I want to do the thing that I look forward to every morning? Once you realize that that's the activity that gives you the maximum pleasure, that's the road to embark on. The day you get up in the morning and you are an employee somewhere and say, I don't want to go to office, it means that's not the job for you. The day a teacher says to herself or himself that I don't want to go to school to teach, when he or she shouldn't be a teacher. The only way to achieve excellence is to realize that quality which gives you the maximum joy, that activity that will give you maximum joy. Right? And each of you will have your own way of looking at these things. And each of you will look at it differently. Take lawyers, for example. I am delighted when I have to argue a case in law, in courts, because it gives me every case is a challenge. I just finished arguing a case before 9 judges of the Supreme Court just now. I started at 10:30 in the morning, I finished at 4 o'clock. That's how I'm in my court clothes, because I had no time to change. But imagine 9 people sitting out there in front of you, asking all kinds of questions which you alone have to answer. That activity gives me great joy, which is why I love being a lawyer. It also gives me great joy if I can bring a smile on the face of a person who has no hope for tomorrow. It happens many times. I mean, in my political career, there's no water connection. Children don't get water, clean water to drink. And if you're able to provide that clean water and you see a smile on the mother's face, that's the kind of joy that sort of stays with you for a long time. So do those things that give you joy. That's how you will achieve levels of excellence. But remember, you can never get joy if you walk alone. Life is not about walking alone. You'll get lost if you walked alone. You have to partner. And that partner may be your teacher, maybe your friends, it may be people you don't know. But you have to partner. And it's only through partnership, through interaction, through engagement that you will learn. In the absence of that engagement, you will not learn. And engagement means what? Engagement means understanding the other point of view. If the engagement is a one-way street, that's no engagement. Engagement requires you to absorb the other point of view. And if you're not willing to absorb the other point of view, in the absence of that engagement, you will never achieve excellence. And as you move forward in life, you will find a lot of pitfalls. Life is not easy. Life is not easy at all. You're in a job, there's a lot of competition, you want to be promoted. And you'll find a lot of people in many of these companies who will sort of get promotion through devious means. But you know, at the end of your life, you have to ask yourself the question, and you always do, what have I done in the course of my life which I'm ashamed of? And if the answer to your question is, I'm ashamed of very little, right? That's a great life that you have led. The only way to do it is to adopt means that are not foul. And it always pays. Always pays. Remember, if 99% of all success in anything is perspiration, only 1% is inspiration. So if you perspire, if you work hard, if you embrace the ethical way forward, you will never fail. I give you my own story. I came to this city in 1964. I belonged to Chandigarh, and I got into St. Stephen's in 1964. I was all alone here, and in 1969, I did my BA as well as my master's. And in 1969, I, for reasons that I still don't understand, got a job of a teacher. I was teaching history at Hindu College. And I taught history for 3 years in the university. And while I was teaching history, I also did my law. So I used to attend classes, I did my law, and in 1972, I got my law degree from the Delhi Law Faculty. And in 1971, I also sat for the IAS. And I got into the IAS in 1972. So in 1973, I had three professions that I could adopt. I could join the Indian Administrative Service and I would have retired by now. That's the easy way out. I could have continued in the teaching profession. Maybe I may have retired as a professor, I don't know, in the academic world. Or I could take a risk in life and start my practice in Delhi without knowing anybody. So I rejected the IAS. I wrote a letter to them, I don't want to join you, in 1972. And I told Bipin Chandra, who was my mentor, Dr. Bipin Chandra, I told him, sir, I cannot continue the job. He said, why? I said, sir, I want to practice law. Well, that's a risky profession, very risky profession. So I chucked up these two things and started practicing law, and I knew nothing, nobody in Delhi. I knew nobody in Delhi, I had no clients. I used to go to court, watch judges, and see how they dealt with cases. Right? Remember, if you have to move forward in life, in your interactions, you must understand who you're working with. Right? You must understand his or her psychology. You must understand that if you say something that may hurt him or her, you shouldn't say it. You must understand that this is the proclivity or the personality of the individual that I'm dealing with, and this is what he likes and this is what he doesn't like. In all your interactions in life, you must move forward with understanding. That's another way of dealing with litigation. If you don't understand your judge, how will you win the case? You have to understand his psychology, what he likes, what he doesn't like. How do you move ahead in life if you don't understand your boss? In a company, if you start doing all the things that he doesn't like, you're not going to get a promotion. That's engagement. How will you build a reputation within the fraternity that you work in, whether it's the legal fraternity, the doctor's fraternity, or chartered accountants fraternity, or the teacher's fraternity, how do you get going with your peers? Remember, unless your peers respect you, you have no chance of moving forward. Your peers have to respect you. So you have to understand your peers for them to respect you. And you have to make them understand what you stand for. Then only will they respect you. If you are devious, if you are unethical, you will have no engagement. And that limited engagement might get you ahead in life for a couple of years, and that's about it. So you have to be like the Kenyan long distance runner in the Olympics. Right? The long distance runner will always win the battle of life. Why? Because he must have stamina. He must know that he has to win. And he runs. He doesn't care about anything else. He doesn't trip anybody on the way. He runs with a particular goal in mind. And he enjoys running. So he enjoys running, he has a goal in mind, he doesn't trip anybody, right? And he's getting help from others because every time he's thirsty, somebody gives him a bottle so that he can continue to run. That's what life is all about. Books are only a stepping stone. Academics are only a stepping stone. But the real challenges of life come when you realize, see, remember in life, somebody is always better than you. Somebody is always better than you. There's nothing that is, there's no such thing as perfection. If you try and seek perfection, you may achieve excellence. But you will never achieve perfection because there is nothing that is perfect, including this world. And there is nothing immortal. Everybody is mortal. So if you are mortal, you must understand that the faculties that you have will also decline. Right? We're all mortals. As I go through life, my faculties are already on the decline. So therefore, perfection is not a thing that you can ever achieve. And if you know that your faculties will someday decline, you know about your own mortality, you will be more humble, more willing to learn, more willing to engage, more willing to understand the other person. So, and remember, life is never, what should I say, one-dimensional. Everything in life is three-dimensional, never one-dimensional. You don't in life think that this is the only thing. For levels of excellence, yes, but this is the only thing that you're alone and you will be able to achieve this. No, it's never like that. And you get help from the most unexpected quarters. As you go along your journey in life, you realize that those friends who thought might help you will not help you. So help comes from very unexpected quarters. So be open like the parachute. And make sure that those below, you give them a helping hand to climb the ladder along with you. Since you're all here leaders, I'm sure that you are aware of all. You're all everybody ultimately is a learner. Leadership is the recognition of a third party and his or her perception of you. But within you, you must not allow yourself to be blown away by the concept that I am number one, I am this and I am that. The day you think about the I and forget the we, you have a problem on your hands. So delighted to be here and thank you very much.